So Apple wants to make your Apple Watch even more like an iPhone with a FaceTime camera. And that could be either the best or the worst thing they could do to the Apple Watch. And ignore the ring.
Get lost, get faded, get high off the love we're making. Go home with just late night. I do anything to feel alright.
Hey, what is up everybody? Michael here, welcome back to Technoid. And guys, welcome back. I'm a little out of it today. Had a long, rough day. So I'm going to be a little more, I guess you could say, not as energetic as I usually am. So I apologize about that if you're not, seeing me too hyped up. But anyway, welcome back guys. And today we're going to focus heavily on Apple. Not going to really take too much time to talk about other things. We're going to keep this solely with Apple. So Apple, you get your own video. So yeah. But let's get this rumor started. So first story up of the day is the rumor of a new Apple Watch. But not the Series 5, but a patent. So Apple is working on a way to put a FaceTime camera on the watch. Now, many people have suggested, because of the Apple Watch's new design, you can put a camera right in the little bezel, but it just never really seemed to work well, in my opinion. When I see renders and stuff, it looks weird. Well, apparently Apple has filed for a patent, which they were granted, where the camera will be on the wristband. And it doesn't look like this wristband will be replaceable. Probably the button one. They'll probably put it on the one with the button, and then you'll probably just have to replace like this piece. So they would probably put it on this, whereas this thing you can probably swap out. So probably assuming this may not be replaceable. Now the whole idea is to make the Apple Watch kind of have the ability to do FaceTime. Now, the reason I say that that's a good, or it could be the best or the worst thing is simple. The best reason is because a lot of people have been asking for that, and I guess if it gives them what they want, let them have it. But I think it could be the worst thing because, like, I don't know. I feel like that's what the iPhone is for. Like, you're using your Apple Watch to make calls. You can FaceTime audio on it, but the whole idea of the Apple Watch was pretty much just to kind of interact with your phone, but also you could put your phone down and you could use it to listen to your music, you could text, you could call, you could do small things and basically just save your phone's battery and also kind of be there as a daily task, also with fitness and stuff. By putting the camera on, it kind of loses that feeling of it trying to be like a health product and more like an iPhone. And for me, I'm personally not feeling it. I don't know why. I don't get it. I really do not understand if that's a thing. So for me, I'm not for that, but again, probably there will be other people. And if I know Apple, they'll probably start selling accessories with FaceTime cameras that'll cost over $200. But this is not going to happen anytime soon. This is just a patent. So if this were to happen, it could be a big deal, but still, I don't really think this is a big breaker, in my opinion. Now, next up, story number 2, again, focusing on Apple, the iPhone SE2 may finally be happening. Now, in the past, I have reported many times talking about the iPhone SE2, and I even talked at a point saying that I wasn't going to talk about the iPhone SE at one point because there were just too many rumors and they just weren't adding up. Well, I was glad I held off for so long because finally we are getting some news. So according to the great, the myth, the legend, Ming-Chi Kuo. Also, by the way, Mr. Kuo, please get a YouTube channel. At this point, tech reviewers are using you as like their main source. So just make your own YouTube channel so you can spread the news to everybody so they don't have to benefit off you, just like what I'm doing. Like, come on now. But anyway, according to Ming-Chi Kuo, he is projecting that next year, not the 2019 iPhones, the 2020 iPhones are going to be the biggest change. Now, he has made several reports saying the iPhone 11s Max, or whatever they're going to call it, 11 Plus, will be 6.7 inches, getting a bigger display and a brand new design. Then the regular iPhone 11s will be a little smaller. Instead of 5.8, it'll be 5.4, something like that, like 5.3, and I don't think it was 5.5 maybe. Well, according to Mr. Kuo, it looks as if we will be getting an iPhone SE style phone. Now, if you guys don't know, the iPhone SE is probably one of Apple's best iPhones they have ever made. If you want to talk about 10R, it's one thing, but the SE was considered to be Apple's best budget phone because it gave you a form factor that most people were comfortable using. Most people are just fine with a small screen. You don't even need a big screen. Now, you could argue that their standard iPhone 7, 6, and 8 all had the 4.7 inch, but some people were fine with the iPhone 5S design. And it's still the case because people are still buying the iPhone SE and it's still selling pretty well. It now supports iOS 13, which gave us a big indication that the SE may still be around for next year. So Mr. Kuo is saying that because of that small iPhone 5S, it may not be in that form size. It may not be a 5-inch screen. Instead, it will be 5.4 inches, fitting the same body ratio in the new forms. However, the chassis that it will hold this technology is rumored to be the same chassis in the iPhone 8, 7, and 6, and 6S. So the same chassis we've seen for the past 4 years, well, not anymore, but the same chassis will hold the iPhone. Now, I'm cool with that because I actually like that small form factor. I'll be real with you, the 5.8 is not bad. It actually makes me miss the 4.7 inch. I don't know why. I mean, I like big phones, but at the same time, it's always nice to go down. But the 4.7 inch iPhone, that was the original size. If you were to take those bezels off, I could see it being about 5.5 inches, maybe even 5.4, around there. So that would make sense. And he's also rumored, or he has also proposed that this new iPhone will not have Face ID, it will have a punch hole design. Now, I'm on the fence there because if they are to have a punch hole, because Apple has been trying to push Face ID, that's just not gonna work. Unless, of course, they come out with their version of Touch ID within the display. Now, if that does happen, that would be pretty impressive, especially for a phone of that caliber. And also the other lines. It will have OLED, it will have probably 2 or 1, maybe even 1 camera. Price-wise, we don't know anything about price, but for me, I'm all for that. Look, there is a market for people that like smaller phones. People like Taylosive and other YouTubers will never understand the market. They only understand their opinions and what they believe in. But you look at the market shares, you look at the numbers, the margins, the list of all products that are being sold at Apple. And if you look at the refurbished websites, and you will see that most of the best sellers are the phones you least expect to be your favorites. And I think the same goes with the iPod Touch. Everybody keeps trashing the iPod Touch because, oh, it has a home button, no Touch ID, why does it exist? But there's a specific market, which is something these people aren't understanding. I don't understand why they continue to keep bashing products like this. The iPhone SE is made for a certain demographic that don't like big phones. The iPod is made for a certain demographic like children and older adults. The point that I'm trying to say is that the iPhone SE meets a demand that is required by the consumer. The consumer has specific needs and wants. They want what they like. If you look at the iPhone 10, 10s, 10s Max, 10R, they're all within the same size range, 5.8, almost 6 inches. The 10R is 6.1 inch and the 10s Max is 6.5 inch. If you were to put an SE in that lineup and put it down to 5 inches, 5.4, 5.3, whatever you want to call it, that would be so much better because people will now have a smaller option instead of having to go for bigger sizes. So for me, I am really all for it because it helps a specific demographic. And for me, I'm cool with it, and probably if it was up to me, if I wanted, I'd probably switch to it because I like a small phone. That's just me. And last story of the day is, of course, same Ming-Chi Kuo talking about the next iPhone 11, where he confirms that the iPhone 11s the iPhone 11 with that 3-camera design will not have 5G. Now, everybody's already known that. Everybody's been talking about it, but it just further backs up the claim that this year's iPhone is not going to have 5G. And you know something? I think that says everything you need to know. There are phones right now that are out there available for 5G. The Samsung Galaxy S10 5G, the Motorola. While those phones are nice and all, 5G is not fully developed. Sprint and T-Mobile are still in their merger. They're still trying to figure what's going to go on there. Each carrier does have their version of 5G, but it's so small and it's not in the whole state. You have to go to certain key points to get the 5G. So maybe it's a smart move for Apple to hold off on the 5G until it fully gets, embraced and it fully spreads out. So I'm all for that too, because look, why rush 5G when it's clearly not ready for the mass the mass consumers? Why push it out there? Why make a phone that can't do what 5G offers, and why sell it to consumers that won't be able to take advantage of it right now? That's why I think Apple doing it for 2020, and I'm not talking about the 2019 iPhone, the 2020 iPhones, that is a smarter bet and a smarter move on Apple. By that time, 5G will probably be adapted. Maybe the Sprint T-Mobile merger will pass and we will get the nationwide 5G. We don't know, but all that is for sure is that 5G is just not ready for the mass quantities of the consumers out there that use the cellular networks. So I'm cool with Apple holding off, but I admire other phones and people trying to start up the vamp for the 5G. And that's it for Technoid. So thank you guys for watching. Again, I'm usually more energetic, but I hope you guys understand that today was a little rough. And as always, if you liked the video, hit the like button. If you disliked the video, hit the dislike button. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Please let me know your thoughts down below on all the stories we covered tonight. Thank you so much for watching, and peace.